I'm with Dr. Frank Veith, who is the chairman of the VEITHsymposium. Dr. Veith, could you please tell us what were the highlights in terms of clinical data of this year's symposium?
Well, it's a very interesting question. To actually pick the highlights is difficult because there were really so many. And unlike other years, we had sessions that I didn't get to. So I can't tell you all the highlights, but for me, the highlights were, I think, on 2 days ago. No, it was yesterday. There was a wonderful session with a lot of new material on better endovascular treatment for dissecting, type B dissecting aneurysms. The session was remarkable. I want to go back and re-listen to it on the online library, but that was a wonderful session. And there was another spectacular session that dealt with carotid stenting yesterday, and with general treatment for carotid stenosis, that is carotid endarterectomy versus carotid stenting versus best medical treatment. And there was some really exciting new information on the fact that good medical therapy can actually shrink carotid plaques as well as making them more benign. So those were two highlights. Another highlight yesterday that was particularly striking for me was the session on ruptured aneurysms, which is an ongoing controversial area, whether endovascular treatment has been proven better than open treatment. It's still an area of some uncertainty, but it seems that endovascular treatment, at least to my perception, is gaining a little bit of prominence over open treatment, even without a good randomized trial. But it's still highly controversial. The audiences, when they were queried, was about evenly divided at the end. In the beginning, they all favored getting at level 1 evidence before making a decision. And then there was another really, I thought, interesting session having to do with CCSVI and multiple sclerosis, and that too it remains a controversial area, although the evidence seems to be accumulating that let's just say there's more skepticism than there was. But I still think, and as did most of the other experts, that it's an open question as to whether or not endovascular treatment of vein stenosis will benefit multiple sclerosis patients, and just which ones. And there were many, many other really exciting parts to the meeting that I have to go over it again, the program, and revisit some of the very good talks so that I can absorb them. It's just too much to absorb in a short time. But that about covers it. Oh, there's one other one that I should mention, which is not really clinical, but is clinical, and that is we just had an incredible session on government changes in government interaction with vascular treatment, and the impact of Obamacare on medicine in general, and on vascular surgery and vascular other vascular specialties in particular. That session, and there were other aspects of it that were even more exciting, the impact of Obamacare on industry and in turn on society. It was really a power-packed session. And then lastly, we had a session where we had one of the medical astronauts give a very enlightened and entertaining talk about his experience as an astronaut and as a doctor. So, and we still have more to come, so we'll stay tuned.
Okay. Dr. Veith, could you take us through the new technologies that you actually are seeing in this symposium? What could be like highlighted from this
New
year?
technologies. Well, I would say there's more information on established technologies. That's what we're seeing. New technologies, they're new, but they're not new. For example, the stapling device, the Aptus stapling device. We haven't heard it. I haven't heard it yet, and it probably went on mostly in another room that I wasn't in. But that's new information. And then there are a whole variety of new endografts. There's just a wealth of information on so many things that it's hard to pick out one that's new or different. The evidence is emerging that, there's one that I find particularly exciting, although I was aware of it before, and that is a mesh-covered stent by Gore, which will decrease atheroembolization after carotid stenting and other stenting procedures. That's new. And we are also going to hear more tomorrow about the device for obtaining reversal of flow with carotid stenting by doing a access approach in the neck. And that we'll hear about tomorrow, and we'll hear about the early results. But there were many, many others. As I say, the most exciting thing for me was the definitive evidence on duplex that carotid plaques will shrink with medical treatment, with intensive medical treatment.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Okay.
Veith. This is Angela Gonzalez reporting for Vascular News from the VEITHsymposium.